Hello, good morning everyone. This is me, Anuj Kumar Rai. I am here faculty for Indian Polity at Borthagor IAS Academy. Today we are here to discuss about the prelims mock test question papers what we have recently conducted. Also we will be discussing about the probable topics which is important for the upcoming prelims exam which is scheduled on 26th. So I will begin with the concepts which are in the current affairs in the last year, and the first concept I have picked is the election of the president and the election of the vice president as well. Let us go to the first topic, that is the election of the president, and we will discuss. So what was in the news is that recently, in the last year, our country has elected the 15th president of India and also the first tribal president, Srimati Draupadi Murmu was elected. So regarding this, there may be a direct question that who is the 15th who is the 15th president of the country, or they may ask you Srimati Draupadi Murmu is what is the number, what is her number? Okay, they may ask you this one also. Apart from the current affairs questions, they may go to the static questions like their election process, their impeachment process. Since election is in the news, so impeachment may also be a topic in the exam. But they will ask the surface question, they will not go into the deep understanding or deep concepts, most probably because it is the prelims. Okay. So let us begin the discussion, and we shall begin with the election concept. That is election of the president. Here we shall discuss what is the process, what is the method followed, and the rest of the things, what is important. Fine. So see, the system of presidential election is not like how we conduct the Lok Sabha elections. Okay. We know that in our country there are two systems of election. Let us discuss the basics of the election first, then we will move on to this topic. So there are two systems of election, or two methods, we can say, two methods or two system of election. Fine. The first one is direct election. And the second one is indirect election. See, it's very easy concept. Direct elections are those where the people of a country participates in the election, where we people directly put our vote or cast our vote. And in indirect election, here people will not participate in the election process. Rather, in place of people, our representatives whom we elect, we all know we elect the MLAs and MPs, member of Legislative Assembly and member of Parliament. That also in the Lok Sabha. Only the Lok Sabha MPs are elected by us, by the people. But in the indirect elections, people doesn't cast their vote. People doesn't vote. Then who puts their vote? Our representatives put their vote. It is an indirect election system. Direct means people will be participating. Indirect means people will not participate. The people's representatives will participate in the election. Okay? So we know that the presidential election, in the presidential election, people doesn't vote. So obviously we will follow the indirect system of election. Very easy. One more fact I will tell you. In our country, for direct election, we follow the method of FPTP. Now, what is FPTP? We will discuss. See, in FPTP, the main concept or the main criteria or the main feature is the concept of territorial constituencies. What is it? What is a territorial constituency? So, it is also a very simple concept that the whole country, take example of India, the whole country will be divided into smaller units, and each units are known as constituencies, or you can say it territorial constituencies, from where one member will represent, or one person will represent the whole constituency. Getting it? Fine. So this is the concept of FPTP, and the one who will get the highest number of votes, the one who get the highest number of votes in the election of FPTP is the winning candidate. Fine. So this is about the direct election concept. But in indirect election, since people don't participate, so we don't have the concept of TC. Rather, in place of TC, we have the concept of electoral quota. Okay, electoral quota. There's a formula for it. Okay, there's a formula for it. That is, electoral quota equals to number of valid votes polled, number of valid votes polled divided by number of candidates to be elected, number of candidates to be elected into 1, sorry, not into, it's plus 1 and this plus 1 for majority. So the concept is like this: number of valid votes polled. Suppose I am taking example that the total number of votes is polled 110. Out of that, suppose if 10 votes gets invalid due to any reason, okay, 10 votes gets invalid, so 100 will be the valid votes polled which will be used here. So I am just taking a hypothetical example to explain you the concept of EQ. So 100 will come at the place of valid votes polled divided by number of candidates to be elected. In our country, for presidential election, we have only one president, so there will be only one candidate to be elected. The contesting candidate can be many, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, whatsoever. Fine, but the winner will be only one. The only one candidate will be elected. So by formula, it will be 1 here plus it is by formula 1, and this is for majority. So if you calculate it, you will get 51 as the EQ. 51 as the EQ. So this is like, see, like in direct election, we had the concept of TC and we need to get the highest number of votes. But in the indirect election, we need to achieve the electoral quota to win the election. So that is a system of indirect election, which we use. This system we use in the elections of SLC, in the election of president, in the election of VP, in the election of Rajya Sabha. Mainly these 4. There are others also, but these 4 elections are conducted on the grounds of indirect elections. So now let us come back to our concept, it is election of the president. Now we have gone through the concept of direct and indirect elections, and we came to know that our presidential election is through indirect system. Fine. So let us move further in the presidential election. Okay. See, so the first thing in the presidential election is that there will be an EC. What is an EC? EC is an electoral college. Okay. It is an electoral college where there will be elected MPs, that is member of parliament, from both the houses. Matlab both Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha elected members will participate. They will be here in the EC. Then there will be elected MLS. There will be elected MLS of both state and UTs. Those UTs which have MLS will also participate in the election of the president. Fine. So first concept is what? First concept is that there will be an EC called electoral college, and in that electoral college there will be elected member of parliament from both the houses, and there will be elected MLAs from the states and the UTs. We know that all the states have MLAs because all the state has SLA. There may be a state with no SLC, but there may not be any state, there will not be any state without an SLA, and if there is an SLA, there will be MLA. Fine. Okay. Some UTs also have MLS because they have SLA. Fine. The concept is population. If there is a good number of population, then the state will be given a SLA. So among the UTs, and we know that there are 8 UTs right now. Okay. So among the UTs, the Delhi and Puducherry. Delhi and Puducherry has MLS, so they will also participate in the election of the president. Very simple to remember. See, elected MPs and elected MLS. If you don't remember these also, no issue at all. Okay, because if you know elected MLS will participate, so states will be there. Just you need to remember this one, that Delhi and Puducherry MLS also participate. Previously, prior to 2019, even Jammu and Kashmir MLS also participated, but now, after post 2019, we don't see the concept of MLS there, because the SLA there was Article 370 was abrogated, so SLA was dissolved. But soon Jammu and Kashmir will also have the SLA, and then they will also get their share in the, or their participation in the presidential election. Fine. So first foremost thing, electoral college. In the exam, in the prelims, they may ask you the composition of electoral college. So just simply remember elected MPs and elected MLAs. What does it mean? That it simply means that nominated MPs, sorry for this one, nominated MPs and the nominated MLAs do not participate. However, we don't have the concept right now of nominated MLS. We have the nominated MPs in the Rajya Sabha right now. Okay. Previously, there was in the Lok Sabha also, 2 Anglo-Indians were nominated, but this concept is no more now. Okay. It has been abolished. But we see 12 nominations in the Rajya Sabha from the president on the lines of art, literature, science and social service. So they do not participate in the election of the president. Just as a fact, you remember this one. Okay. Fine. So this is done. The first topic is done. So I will write it in a better way. That is elected MPs and elected MLAs. Fine. In the process, the second step is that the election will be a indirect election. The election will be a indirect election, whereby if it is indirect election, we follow the system of PR-STV. I forgot to tell you in the election part. Okay. Indirect election, we follow FPTP concept, FPTP, and in the indirect election concept, we follow the PR-STV system, proportional representation by single transferable vote. Okay. The technical details for now for the prelims not required, just you remember the fact, because what is the system they follow, what is the method we follow, that is important. Otherwise there is a technical details of it, how we do single transferable vote, what is PR, okay, but not required for the prelims. Fine. Then who will win the election? What is the winning criteria? Okay, what is the winning criteria? How a candidate will win the election? So the winning candidate has to secure the electoral quota, what we have discussed previously. They need to secure the electoral quota. It is a prefixed quota. After the polling, the election commission calculates the quota, and then the candidate who secures this quota will get elected. Number 4 is about the election will be done in a secret ballot. Secret ballot. What is secret ballot? So very simple. There are 2 types of voting: secret ballot and open ballot. In open ballot, whom you have voted, the other person can know. I can know that whom you have voted, fine. But in secret ballot, no one knows whom the person has voted. Just like what we put our votes in the MLA and MP election, they are all secret ballot because no one knows whom you have voted. I hope you know that you go, there is a box kept and you press a button in the EVM and your votes is counted. Same, at that time no one sees your vote, or whom you are giving the vote, no one knows. That same concept is known as secret ballot. So when there is secret ballot, there will be no anti-defection. Matlab, if the member of any party even goes against the party decision, then there will be no anti-defection. In the further today only we will discuss the anti-defection. What is it? Okay. So anti-defection. In this, what happens? Since the party is not knowing whom you have voted, so there is no chance of anti-defection. Simply you remember that in the presidential election, the anti-defection does not apply for now. What is anti-defection? We will discuss today itself. Fine. Then, if there is any election disputes, then who will see this dispute? If someone suppose put a charge of corruption on the presidential candidate, then who will see this matter? So simple, it will be seen by the Supreme Court. Only Supreme Court has the power or has the authority or has the jurisdiction to check the election disputes of the president. Fine. Then who is the election authority, or who conducts the election of the president? Election authority. So the authority is the ECI, Election Commission of India. All the elections except the local elections, that is the local panchayat and municipality elections, are conducted by the ECI in the country. It may be president, it may be VP, it may be Lok Sabha, it may be Rajya Sabha, any one. Okay. Except the local elections, that is panchayat and the municipality elections, they are conducted by the State Election Commission. Like the ECI, there is a commission in the state also. Fine. So these are the facts. Okay. And one more fact which is not probably been asked in the exam. Okay. But since it is in the current affairs, so there is a chance also. Okay. That this time the value of one MP vote was 700, but previously it was 708. Why it has been decreased? Because Jammu and Kashmir MLAs and MP has not participated this time, because there was a 370 abrogation, so everything was dissolved there. Okay. So they did not participate, so the value came down to 700. As a fact, you remember what was the value of each of the MP in the election of the president last year. If they ask you, so you just remember 700, but not important for the exam. Not most probably ahibo nalage, but we will not skip this thing. Just a simple topic, so you will remember it. Fine. Apart from this, what may be asked from the presidential? Dekho, how an examiner said a question in the civil services. Dekho, either they will directly go for the current affairs, what has been asked, 15th president कौन है, या Draupadi Murmu is which number president, या first tribal president. This is a direct question of current affairs, and if they take the reference of current affairs and ask this static portion, they may go for this, or they may go for the other concepts like impeachment of the president. Since election, how we elect has been in the current affairs, so how we remove, that also may be asked. The periphery zone of the election can be asked. Overall, president is an important chapter. Okay. Also, you have to remember the articles. In the president chapter, you have to remember the articles, especially articles relating to the election. Okay. So this is the, let me tell you the articles, what you will remember. Articles you will remember 52, that is there shall be a president of India. 53, that is electoral, sorry, not 53, It is not about the election. 54, it is electoral college. 53 is about the union executive power shall rest upon the president. It is a different topic, not the topic of an election. There shall be a president, and this says that it speaks about the electoral college, what we have talked here. Okay. Then 55 talks about the manner of election, okay, what will be the process, what will be the formula, what will be the method, how it will be conducted, etc. etc. Okay. Then 56 talks about the term, okay, what will be the term of the president. Generally we know it is a 5 years term or tenure. Term is unlimited, okay, but tenure is 5 years. Okay. Then 57 talks about re-election, okay, how many times he can be the president, okay, or she can be the president. So it is unlimited, okay, unlimited है ये, sorry, unlimited. One person can become president for n number of times. There is no any limitation set by the constitution. However, in India we don't follow the concept of re-electing the president again. Okay, we don't follow. It is a convention. Constitution has not put any bar on it. Constitution says कि a same person can become president again and again for n number of times. There is no limitation set. But in India, we follow a convention that one person has been given chance to be a president only once, except one case, that is Rajendra Prasad case. He has been a president 2 times. Fine. But from then till now, we have been following a convention of electing the president only once, for only one term. Okay? Fine. Then we have Article 58. In 58, we talk about the qualification. Qualification. Who is qualified to be a president? Fine. Then we talk about, in 62, we talk about the vacancy. Okay, under what condition the position of the president may get vacant. Okay. There are 5 conditions. Okay. But here you just remember the articles. Fine. Articles याद रखो, इसको याद रखो. Fine. याद नहीं रखना है, इसको समझ लेना है. ठीक है. Fine. So this is about the election of the president. अच्छा. On this we had asked some question in the prelims test series. So there were 5 questions in different test series. There were 5 such questions on the president, which will be given to you on the screen. Okay. So the first question was that which article of the constitution says that there shall be a president of India? Fine. So there shall be a president of India, Article 52. Fine. Number 2 was the elected member of the legislative assemblies of which union territories have the right to vote in the election of the president of India. मतलब কোনটো UTs কোনটো UTৰ পৰা মানে প্ৰেসিডেন্টৰ ইলেকশনত পাৰ্টিসিপেট কৰে MLS বোৰ, ঠিক আছে. So that we know that Delhi and Puducherry participates, we have talked about. Okay, here Delhi and Puducherry participates. So it is right answer hobo. Then the president of India is elected by an electoral college consisting of okay, it's written here that elected members of the parliament and state legislative assemblies. Okay, other options are not valid. See the option number 1 if you are confused. Option number A, member of the parliament and state legislature. If we take state legislature, okay, then the SLC also will be there, but SLC doesn't participate. Okay, and if we take member of parliament, then both elected and nominated will also be there, but we know that nominated members do not participate. So ultimately the best answer is, among these, the best answer is number C, that is elected members of the parliament participate, plus Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha both will come, and state elected members, that is also there. Okay, and the state legislative assemblies. Correct. Why 4th is wrong? Because 4th doesn't say one thing. Just see, elected members of the Lok Sabha, correct, they participate, and members of Rajya Sabha means both elected and nominated. The fact is hidden, but that is the technical details in it. Okay, and the state legislative assembly, again member means they will also include the nomination, So from among these, C is the best possible answer. Fine. Then in the question number 4, which of the following statement is incorrect in regard with the presidential election? The first one, the electoral college of the president is composed of the elected representative only. Correct? Yes or no? In the EC, we only see elected members. That is correct. Fine. We need to find out the incorrect one. Please focus on this thing. In the exam, when you are attempting the exam, please read the statement, read the direction, whether it is asking correct answer or incorrect answer. Because many of us or we make mistake there. We don't read the question and we directly go for the answer. Okay. So B is India follows proportional representation with single transferable vote system for presidential election. 100% correct. Presidential election is conducted by the ECI. Yes, correct. Authority, ECI. Then in India, the presidential election is done in open ballot system. Secret ballot, not open ballot. So this is the wrong answer. D will be your answer because it is wrong. One more question is there, that is the chairman and the consider the following statement. The chairman and the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha are not the members of the house. The chairman and the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha are not the members of the house. Chairman is not the member of the house. That is correct. But deputy chairman should be the member of the house. We know that to become a PO, this is from the parliament, okay? To become a PO, that is presiding officer, the person need to be the member of the house except the chairman, because chairman, who is the chairman? The vice president is the chairman. Okay? So except the chairman, to be deputy chairman, to be speaker, to be deputy speaker, we need to be the member of the parliament. Fine. So this statement is wrong. Number 2 is while the nominated members of the parliament have no voting rights in the presidential election, they have the voting right in the election of the vice president. Okay, fine. This is most probably from the vice president chapter. Okay. So nominated members do not vote in the presidential election. Correct, yes. They don't, nominated members don't put their vote in the presidential election because we see only the elected members. Fine. But the same electoral college will change for the VP, it is vice president. We will talk. This question is probably from the vice president side. Okay. Here statement number 2 is correct. Fine. Anyway. So this is about the president. This much you read. Also, if you want to go further reading, then you read about the impeachment. Okay. Because since the election is in the news, so the impeachment can also be a question in the prelims. And anyway, APSC has already asked question from the impeachment. Fine. Okay. So this is about the presidential election. Now we will talk about the election of the second topic, election of the vice president. Election of the vice president. So let's see. VP. Same. Why it is in news? First thing, we have recently elected the 14th vice president of the country, Jagdeep Dhankar. Okay. Previously, he was the governor of the West Bengal, and we have seen many issues in the current affairs regarding the Jagdeep Dhankar and Mamata Banerjee. Fine. But anyway, now he is the 14th vice president of the India. Okay. So this is why it is in news. So I will write Jagdeep Dhankar. Fine. So just see the periphery of the current affairs. We will see the election process, then the removal process. This will become important. So first, the concept of vice president we have taken from the USA. हम लोग ने VP कॉन्सेप्ट को USA से लिया है, ठीक है, अमेरिका से. Then this one article called Article 64, very important. Many times APSC has asked about this article. ठीक है, 64 says that the VP shall be the ex officio chairman, the VP shall be ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Okay? This question has been asked many times in the many exams, not only in APSC. Okay? They may ask you which article declares the VP to be an ex officio chairman, or who is an ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. They may ask like this. Okay? So it's VP. Article 64 says it. Okay? Ex officio means by holding the position of VP, the person will automatically become the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Fine. ठीक है. Then the position of the vice president is the second highest constitutional position. ठीक है. Second highest constitutional position in the country. Where it is written? It is in the table of precedence. Table of precedence. Fine. In table of precedence, the hierarchy is mentioned. The first one is the president, and the second one is the VP. Then these are the basic facts about the VP. Let's talk about the election. The election process same. There will be an EC, but EC of president and EC of vice president is different. Okay. EC of the vice president has elected MPs plus nominated MPs, or we can say all the MPs. Fine. All the MPs are the part of the EC of vice president, elected also and nominated also. All will participate. Fine. MLAs don't participate in the election of the vice president. Then same election method. Election method will be indirect election through PR STV. Very easy to remember. All the indirect elections in India are conducted through PR STV, proportional representation with single transferable vote. Okay. So just as a concept you remember. Then here also there will be a, since it is PR STV, so there will be a concept of electoral quota. Quota has to be secured. Then again secret ballot, votes will be in secret ballot. Then disputes will be seen by Supreme Court. Authority is the ECI. The same concept. Rest concept is same with the president. Only the concept of EC is different. Okay? Only the concept of EC is different. Fine. EC of president has elected means elected MPs and elected MLAs. But in the EC of vice president, we have elected MPs plus nominated MPs, means all MPs, all the members of the parliament participate in the election. Fine. This is done. This is the election system. And if we talk about the removal a bit, okay, because there is a unique type of removal. They may ask you in the exam. Let's discuss the removal. Hope this is done and this is clear. Fine. So just see about the removal. The removal of the VP is done only in Rajya Sabha. Is done only in Rajya Sabha. Means done only मतलब क्या? Initiation. ठीक है? The initiation of removal process of the VP is done only in Rajya Sabha. ठीक है? Rajya Sabha introduce the motion or resolution of removal. Then through the voting we need effective majority. That is, if I talk, that is 50% of the effective strength of the house. Okay. Somewhere it is also called a special majority, but actually it is effective strength of the house ka 50%. What is effective strength of the house? So ESH equals to TSH minus vacancy. ठीक है. देखो कहीं कहीं इसको स्पेशल मेजोरिटी भी बोलता है, ठीक है, बट एक्चुअली में दिस कंसेप्ट इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ इफेक्टिव मेजोरिटी विच इज 50% ऑफ द ESH. व्हाट इज ESH? तो TSH माइनस वैकेंसी, इसका फुल फॉर्म है इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द हाउस एंड TSH मीन्स टोटल स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द हाउस. तो टेक एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ लोकसभा. लोकसभा का टोटल स्ट्रेंथ है 543, उससे वैकेंसी माइनस कर दो. आई एम एज्यूमिंग दैट दी वैकेंसी इज सपोज 43, तो 43 अगर वैकेंसी है तो कितना आएगा, तो इट विल बी 500. यदि 500 আহিছে तो 500 পৰা 50% ওলাই লম, 50% অফ দি ESH. তো এইটো ESH হয়, ইয়াৰ 50% ওলাই লম প্লাছ 1 কৰি দিম, যি আহিব এইটো আমাৰ কি হ'ব, এফেক্টিভ মেজৰিটি হৈ যাব. ঠিক আছে, 251 উইল বি দি এফেক্টিভ মেজৰিটি. তো যদি ৰাজ্যসভাত ইমান পাইছে, সাপোজ এটা হাইপোথেটিক এক্সাম্পল লৈছোঁ, ঠিক আছে, कि 543 माइनस दिस इज आवर हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल कि 43 सीट्स आर वैकेंट. ठीक है, तो इट हो गल. तो राज्यसभात कि লাগিব, এফেক্টিভ মেজৰিটি লাগিব, আৰু राज्यसभा পাছ হৈ আহি লোকসভাত আহিব, আৰু লোকসভাত কিমান লাগিব, লোকসভাত লাগিব সিম্পল মেজৰিটি. হোৱাট ইজ সিম্পল মেজৰিটি? তো নাথিং বাট 50% অফ দি মেম্বাৰ্স প্ৰেজেন্ট এণ্ড ভোটিং. যিমানজন আহিছে সেইদিনা ইন দি হাউচ, তাৰ 50% প্লাছ 1 মেম্বাৰ যদি ছাপোৰ্ট কৰি দিয়ে, তে লোকসভাৰ পৰা সেই ৰিজল্যুশ্যনটো পাছ হৈ যায়. চ' দেৰ ইজ এ ডিফাৰেঞ্চ. প্ৰথম ডিফাৰেঞ্চটো কি, অকল ৰাজ্যসভা ইনিচিয়েট কৰিব পাৰিব, আৰু তাত কি লাগিব, এফেক্টিভ মেজৰিটি লাগিব. এণ্ড দেন ৰাজ্যসভা যদি পাছ কৰি দিয়ে, দেন ইট উইল কাম টু দি লোকসভা, এণ্ড লোকসভা নিড টু পাছ উইথ দি চিম্পল মেজৰিটি. ঠিক আছে, এইটো কনচেপ্ট. ফাইন. অন দিছ দেৰ ইজ এ কুৱেশ্যন. ঠিক আছে, দুটা কুৱেশ্যন আহিছিলে ইন দি টেষ্ট সিৰিজ. That is, consider the first question, just see. Consider the correct statement with regard to Vice President of India from the following. The concept of Vice President has been taken or adopted from the USA. Correct statement, USA पर लोइसु. Number 2, he acts as the ex officio chairman of the Council of State. True, because राज्य सभा का नाम Council of State. देखो राज्य सभा का अलग अलग नाम है. First name in the constitution, what we write it, it is Council of State. In Hindi name, the Hindi name is Rajya Sabha, and one more name is there, it is Upper House. ठीक है, तो ऐसे बोल सकते हैं, अलग अलग नाम से दे सकता है. Council of State, Rajya Sabha और Upper House, same concept. तो correct statement. His removal can be initiated in either house of the parliament. No, his removal is only initiated in Rajya Sabha. ठीक है, very important fact. Can be a question. Or if they go, they will go simpler than these questions. Okay, fine. Second question, the vice president can be removed in which of the following ways? Okay, so number A, by a resolution of the Rajya Sabha passed by an effective majority and agreed by the Lok Sabha. Effective majority चाहिए, yes, ये तो correct है. Second is saying agreed by the Lok Sabha. What does it mean? Agreed by the Lok Sabha means they are saying about the simple majority. ठीक है, वहाँ लिखा हुआ नहीं है, तब लिखी दिया नहीं, बट कॉन्सेप्ट की कोई से एग्रीड बाय दी लोकसभा मीन्स सिंपल मेजोरिटी. ठीक है, तो आंसर टू ए होबो, बट बी सी डी साइड की लिखा আছে, तो बाय दी बी की लिखा আছে बाय द रिजोल्यूशन ऑफ द राज्यसभा पास्ड बाय एन स्पेशल मेजोरिटी एंड एग्रीड बाय द लोकसभा. रॉन्ग, स्पेशल হয় যদি এফেক্টিভ পার্টিকুলারলি অপশনত লিখি দিছে, তো এফেক্টিভ শুড বি ইউর আনসার, তেতিয়া স্পেশাল নামাৰিবা. ঠিক আছে, বাট যেতিয়া সাপোজ যদি এফেক্টিভ দিয়া নাই, স্পেশাল লিখিছে, তেতিয়া তুমি স্পেশালটো টিক কৰিবা. হ'ব, ইট ডিপেন্ডস আপন দি অপশনস. তো ইয়াতো দিয়া আছে এফেক্টিভ, সো আনসার উইল বি এ. বি দুনো হ'ব. সি কি আছে, বাই ৰিজোলুশন অফ দি ৰাজ্যসভা এণ্ড লোকসভা পাছ বাই এন স্পেশাল মেজৰিটি ইন বোথ দি হাউচেছ. নট লোকসভাত ক'ত লাগিব স্পেশাল, লোকসভাত কি লাগিব, সিম্পল মেজৰিটি লাগিব. ঠিক আছে, ইয়াত এফেক্টিভ লাগিব. কাৰেক্ট. ডি লিখিছে বাই দি অৰ্ডাৰ অফ দি প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট আফটাৰ দি এনকুৱাৰী অফ দি সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্ট. সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টৰ কোনো দৰকাৰ নাই, বিকজ উই নো প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট আৰু ভাইচ প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট ৰিমুভেল প্ৰচেছটো পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্টৰ পৰা হয়. ঠিক আছে, তো সেইটোৱে. তো ইয়াত এনচাৰ হ'ব এ. চ' উইথ দিছ উই হেভ এণ্ডেড আৱাৰ ছেকেণ্ড টপিক, দেট ইজ দি ইলেকশ্যন অফ দি ভাইচ প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট. ঠিক আছে, মানে দিছ টু ৱেৰ ইন দি কাৰেণ্ট এফেয়াৰ্ছ, তো যিকোনো পৰা এটা আহিব পাৰে, দুটা আহিব পাৰে. ঠিক আছে, বাট ইফ দে মে আস্ক ইউ অনলি ওৱান, ইদাৰ ভাইচ প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট অৰ প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট, ইফ দে আস্ক. ঠিক আছে, বাট দে শুড প্ৰবেবলি আস্ক ইট বিকজ ইট ইজ ইন দি কাৰেণ্ট এফেয়াৰ্ছ. ঠিক আছে, তো সুধিব লাগে, যি মানে ইলেকশ্যন ৰিলেটেড হ'ব পাৰে, ইম্পিচমেণ্ট ৰিলেটেড হ'ব পাৰে, ৰিমুভেল ৰিলেটেড হ'ব পাৰে, বহুত সুধিব. ঠিক আছে, সুধিব লাগে. এতিয়া চাওঁ কি কৰে. ঠিক আছে, নেক্সট টপিক I have taken which was in the current affairs, was pardoning power of the president and the governor. This was also in the news. Actually, there are two news regarding this in 2022. ঠিক আছে, এটা বহুত রিসেন্ট কেস হয়। এইটো কেস হয় কি রাজীৱ গান্ধীৰ এছাচিনেশ্যনৰ ওপৰত চেণ্টাৰে কিবা ক্লেইম কৰিছে that president should look into the matter and not the Tamil Nadu governor. ঠিক আছে, মানে the convict person named A.G. Perarivalan, ঠিক আছে, তেওঁ কি কৰিছে, he has given the pardon petition, mercy petition, ঠিক আছে, and center claims that ki the president should look into the matter, not the Tamil Nadu government. Into current affairs. It is aruta ase, there is one more case, that is Bilkis Bano case. Tato eta case enaka remission or case hoy, ঠিক আছে, which has been asked, which is in the current affairs. Bilkis Bano case and Rajiv Gandhi case. So duta case hoise in the last year, মানে this has been come forward. So আমার কারণে কি ইম্পর্টেন্ট হয়ে যায়, আমার কারণে দুটো কনসেপ্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট হয়ে যায়, দ্যাট ইজ প্রেসিডেন্ট পার্ডনিং পাওয়ার পিপি অ্যান্ড গভর্নর পার্ডনিং পাওয়ার পিপি। ঠিক আছে, তো সবতকে প্রথম আমি আর্টিকেল জানি লওঁ। তো আর্টিকেল যদি চাব যাওঁ, তো আর্টিকেল 72 দিয়া আছে দি পার্ডনিং পাওয়ার অফ দি প্রেসিডেন্ট, এন্ড আর্টিকেল 161 দিয়া আছে দ্য পার্ডনিং পাওয়ার অফ দি গভর্নর। বোথ এনজয়স দি পার্ডনিং পাওয়ার। ঠিক আছে, ইয়ার গ্রাউন্ডস কি কি আছে, তো মানে অন হোয়াট গ্রাউন্ডস দি প্রেসিডেন্ট পার্ডন। তো ইফ এনি ওয়ান ইজ কনভিক্টেড ইন এ ম্যাটার অফ ইউনিয়ন ল মতে যদি কোনোবা পানিশমেন্ট পাইছে, তো তাত পাৰ্ডন কৰি দিব পাৰে। ঠিক আছে, মিলিটাৰী কোৰ্ট, মাৰ্শাল কোৰ্ট, মিলিটাৰী কোৰ্ট যদি তাৰ পৰা বা মাৰ্শাল কোৰ্ট হেজ গিভেন এ কনভিকশ্যন টু এনি পাৰ্চন, দেন দে কেন সিক দি পাৰ্ডন ফ্ৰম দি প্ৰেসিডেন্ট and death sentences can be pardoned by the president. মানে president enjoys powers of pardon on these three different aspects: any conviction or sentence given under union law, any conviction or sentence given under military court, and any conviction of death sentence can be pardoned by the president. But similar power is not enjoyed by the governor. ठीक है, governor enjoy any conviction or sentence given under the state law that can be pardoned by the governor. ठीक है, on death sentence he enjoys some power but he cannot pardon it. ठीक है, some powers are there, we will discuss. ठीक है, on military court he doesn't have any power. On death sentences he enjoys some power, but we have to discuss, so let us put on hold. So what are the powers which the president enjoys? So he enjoys, the PP of president is, first is pardon. Okay, first is pardon, that is 100% free from the conviction, totally free, completely free, punishment nathakibo. And second is commutation ki hoy, to চেঞ্জ অফ নেচার অফ পানিশমেন্ট। যদি ডেথ পাইছে লাইফ করে দিব, যদি লাইফ পাইছে তো ফাইন করে দিব। ঠিক আছে, চেঞ্জ অফ নেচারটো চেঞ্জ হব। তো কিওয়ার্ড কি হব, নেচার। দেখো, you will try to sum up the concept in some keywords. Best way to prepare for prelims. What happens in the prelims, you will have the statement, you will have the question. So by the questions statement, by the questions মানে options, you can figure out ki ha nature acha thik ase computation hobo, enaka figure out koribo pariba. In the exam you can easily figure out the concept if you have the keyword with you. ठीक है, computation. Then we have remission. ইয়াত কি হবো, ইয়াত period will be changed. If someone has given 14 years imprisonment, 10 years imprisonment, so there will be decrease in the imprisonment, like 10 years to 7 years kori dile, 14 years to 10 years kori dile, so decrease in the time period. Fine. And also respite. In a special cases on the special cases the president may give respite, like case of pregnancy, like case of especially able persons, if they are convicted ठीक है, तो they can be given respite, they can be pardoned also, they can be commuted also, anyway anything, ठीक है sir. Reprieve, last one is reprieve, yes, reprieve. In this, it is simple, that is suspension of the verdict for certain time, so that the convicted person can go and ask for pardon and commutation, ठीक है sir, pardon and commutation. So these are the 5 different pardoning powers of the president, and similar is the of the governor, but there is some difference, that is powers are same, governor also enjoy these powers, ठीक है, but their sentences cannot be pardoned. Pardon করিব নোৱাৰে, মানে ফ্ৰী কৰিব নোৱাৰিব, কি পাৰিব, তো their sentences can be reprieve, stay order লগাব পাৰিব, ঠিক আছে, their sentences can be remitted, remit কৰিব পাৰিব, ঠিক আছে, and it can be commuted, remitted power enjoy কৰে, ঠিক আছে, but reprieve power to pardon power enjoy নকৰে, reprieve, remitted and commuted enjoy কৰিব, their sentence can be reprived, their sentence can be remitted and it can be commuted, ঠিক আছে, but pardon free কৰিব নোৱাৰিব, free কৰা power to অকল president enjoy কৰে, ঠিক আছে, and rest of this are there. On this we had 2 questions, ঠিক আছে, কি কি আছিলে, see the questions. The correct statement regarding the difference between the pardoning power of the president and the governor, কোনটো correct হয় তলৰ পৰা, the governor can pardon sentences inflicted by the martial court while the president cannot. Totally false, because governor enjoy only power on the SL, that is state laws, ঠিক আছে, state law মতে যদি কোনো পানিশমেন্ট পাইছে তো সেইটো পানিশমেন্টটো মাফ কৰি দিব পাৰে, মানে পাৰ্ডনিং পাৱাৰ এনজয় কৰে, not on the martial courts. Martial court কোনটো এনজয় কৰিব, অকল প্ৰেসিডেন্ট এনজয় কৰিব. Then the president can pardon death sentences while governor cannot. Yes, pardon power enjoy নকৰে governor. Governor doesn't enjoy the pardoning power on the death sentences, but the president enjoys the power of pardon on the death sentence. Correct. B is correct. Then we have the C number point, that is the governor can pardon death sentences while the president cannot. Again, it is a wrong statement, because pardoning power is not enjoyed by the governor. Then we see none of the options are correct, so option B is correct here. Question number 2, consider incorrect statement from the following with regard to the governor. So let us see the statements. Part 6 of the Constitution of India enumerates the provision of the governor of the state. Yet incorrect hodise, so we need to focus on the incorrect. It is a correct statement. Part 6 deals with the provisions of the governor, correct. Number B, the oath of the office is administered by the Chief Justice of the High Court of the state. The oath of office, regarding governor it is, okay. So who gives the oath to the governor? So it is the Chief Justice of the High Court, it is correct, fine. Number C, he enjoys same pardoning power as the president. It is wrong, because president enjoys the pardoning power on 3 different aspects, while the governor enjoys only on 1, that is the state laws. Then Constitution provides for discretionary powers of the governor. It is correct, because Constitution has mentioned some discretionary powers to the governor. Okay, so here C number option is wrong. Fine, C is wrong, so that will be our answer. Fine. So with this we end the third topic, this is pardoning power. Articles, basically you remember under which articles it is mentioned, and on which aspects the president can pardon and on which aspects the governor can pardon. Fine. बाकी ये सब का नेचर मोस्ट प्रोबेबली ये सब तो आ भी सकता है, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं बोलूँगा नहीं आएगा, आ सकता है सब चीज़ें भी, ठीक है, बट ये वाला ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है आर्टिकल और ये वाला एस्पेक्ट्स, ठीक है. डेथ सेंटेंस वो नहीं कर सकता है, डेथ सेंटेंस पे रिप्राइव, रिमीट एंड कम्यूट पावर ही एंजॉयज, pardoning power he doesn't enjoy, that you remember, okay, fine. Then the next topic we have in the current affairs, okay, is about the appointment of judges, okay, appointment of judges, and it has been in controversy also in recent times. ठीक है। तो सी अच्छा न्यूज़ में क्यों है, तो वाई इट इज़ इन न्यूज़, तो फैक्ट ये है कि इन द ईयर 2022 सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज़ अपॉइंटेड 2 जजेस which has brought the Supreme Court in its full strength. Means there were only 32 judges before, 2 vacant seats were there. ठीक है, तो with the appointment of 2 more judges in the Supreme Court has regained its full strength, and one of that judge was the former Chief Justice of our Guwahati High Court, Sudhanshu Dhulia. ठीक है से Honorable Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia and Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala from Gujarat High Court. ठीक है, so these 2 were appointed and the 34 seats were filled. So this was the current affairs. Don't worry, they will not ask you who are the persons appointed as the judges. ठीक है, name most probably not be asked, but appointment process can be asked. Fine, any of it, maybe High Court, maybe District Court, maybe Supreme Court. ठीक है, so let's go further. तो पहला बात, which article of the Constitution prescribe the appointment process? So it is Article 124. 124 article prescribe about the appointment of the judges in the Supreme Court. Fine. तो देखते हैं प्रोसेस क्या है, व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट. ठीक है, तो वी विल सी फर्स्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट, देन विल डिस्कस अबाउट द हाई कोर्ट, देन डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट ऑल्सो. ठीक है, क्योंकि देखो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का है या हाई कोर्ट का है, तो सभी का वी विल गो थ्रू द अपॉइंटमेंट प्रोसेस, कैन बी आस्क्ड. ठीक है, देखो फॉर CGI देयर इज अ वेरी सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट. ठीक है, प्रेसिडेंट विल अपॉइंट द CGI. ठीक है, CGI मीन्स चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द इंडिया, विच इज द सुप्रीम हेड ऑफ द जुडिशरी इन द कंट्री. ठीक है, तो प्रेसिडेंट अपॉइंट्स हिम. ठीक है, बट नॉट ऑन हिज ऑन चॉइस. ठीक है, द आउटगोइंग CGI रिकमेंड्स द नेम ऑफ द इनकमिंग CGI कि कौन होगा नेक्स्ट কোন হ'ব आउटगोइंग CGI জনাই দিব, রিকমেন্ড কৰি দিব. ঠিক আছে, he will not recommend by his own choice, but there is a collegium of 5 senior most judge. ঠিক আছে, তো তেওঁ জনাই যাব with all these 5 senior most একেলগত বহি এটা ৰিকমেন্ডেশন ল'ব, ডিসিজন ল'ব, and that decision will be communicated to the president and president will appoint the chief justice of India. ठीक है, तो ये इजी है. ठीक है, एक्चुअली देयर इज अ कन्वेंशन क्या है कि सीनियर मोस्ट जज ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट शैल बी द CGI. ये कन्वेंशन चल रहा है. जो सीनियर मोस्ट, अच्छा सीनियर मोस्ट इन सर्विस, नॉट इन एज, बयसत নহয়, इन दी टेन्योर दैट पर्सन शुड बी, जज शुड बी सीनियर मोस्ट. तो नेक्स्ट द सीनियर मोस्ट हुज एवर, यदि मैं सपोज CGI हूँ तो मोर नेक्स्ट जो सीनियर मोस्ट हम तो मैं CGI हम, एंड हिज नेम विल बी रिकमेंडेड. फाइन. अबाउट अदर जजेस, तो ये केनेके है, तो अगेन प्रेसिडेंट विल अपॉइंट. ठीक है, एंड हियर प्रेसिडेंट विल टेक द एडवाइस ऑफ द कॉलेजियम. कॉलेजियम की है, तो कॉलेजियम इज ए बॉडी ऑफ 5 सीनियर मोस्ट जज इंक्लूडिंग द CGI. CGI is also part of the collegium. It is a collegium of 5 senior most judges of the Supreme Court which recommends the appointment of other judges. जेनेका जिते Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia was appointed in the Supreme Court, the advice was given by this collegium to the president कि Sudhanshu Dhulia should be appointed. So president has appointed him as the judge, 33rd or 34th, anything. ठीक है. This is about the Supreme Court. CGI कौन होगा? Senior most judge of the Supreme Court. It is a convention. ठीक है. Other judges, president on the advice of the collegium by the CGI. Actually, president on the advice of the CGI, and CGI should consult the collegium. ठीक है. You can write like this also कि by the advice of the CGI, and CGI should consult the collegium. And what is collegium? The 5 senior most judge. And if you write like this, then it is 4 senior most judge. And the CGI itself is there. Okay. CGI प्लस कोलेजियम. कोलेजियम क्या है? कोलेजियम इज यू राइट 5 नो प्रॉब्लम. 5 सीनियर मोस्ट जज, 4 अदर एंड CGI इटसेल्फ. ठीक है, और इसका रिकमेंडेशन आना पड़ेगा 4:1 रेशियो में. मीन्स 4 जजेस ऑफ द कोलेजियम शुड से कि यस सुधांशु धुलिया शुड बी दी नेक्स्ट जज इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. अगर 3:2 होगा तो दिट इज नॉट बाइंडिंग. 3 लोगों ने कहा कि यस सुधांशु धुलिया तो नहीं होगा. ठीक है, इट शुड बी 4:1 मेजोरिटी से आना पड़ेगा डिसीजन. फाइन. देन हाईकोर्ट की हम तो हाईकोर्ट का CJ चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द हाई कोर्ट शैल बी अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. अगेन अपॉइंटमेंट इज गिवन बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. ठीक है, ऑन द एडवाइस ऑफ द CGI एंड CGI शुड कंसल्ट द कोलेजियम अगेन. कोलेजियम. ठीक है, एंड द गवर्नर्स आर ऑल्सो कंसल्टेड. बट गवर्नर का होना ना होना उतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. ठीक है, CJ को अपॉइंट करते वक्त when the CJ will be appointed, the CGI will give the consultation to the president. ठीक है, actually there is also a collegium in the high court which is a 3 senior most judge, but it is irrelevant because irrelevant नहीं है, relevant है. क्या इस बात है कि these 3 senior most judge, the collegium of the high court will give advice to the collegium of the supreme court, and collegium of the supreme court will give advice to the president. They cannot give direct advice to the president. ठीक है, they will advise, the high court collegium will advise the supreme court collegium, and supreme court collegium will advise the president, and president will appoint the CJ. ठीक है, इस टाइप से होता है. Then OJ means other judges of the high court is appointed by the president on the advice of the CGI and collegium. Again फिर collegium, यही बात है, collegium. ठीक है, collegium will be there. ठीक है, and the governors consultation will be there. Governors will also be consulted. ठीक है, for chief justice of high courts, president will make the appointment on the advice of the supreme court collegium. Supreme court collegium will be advised by the high court collegium, be it the other judges appointment or be it the chief justice appointment. Fine. ये है about the high court. And then the next one is about the appointment of district court judges. ठीक है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में 2 होता है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज एंड अदर जजेस. देखो, डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजेस आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द गवर्नर. डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजेस आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द गवर्नर एंड द अदर जजेस आर अपॉइंटेड ऑल्सो बाय द गवर्नर. ये भी गवर्नर ही अपॉइंट करेगा. ठीक है, इसमें वी टेक द हाई कोर्ट कंसल्टेशन. ठीक है, एंड इसमें वी टेक द कंसल्टेशन और ऑन द रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ द SPSC. व्हाट इज SPSC? तो स्टेट पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, लाइक APSC कंडक्ट्स द एग्जाम्स ऑफ AJS, असम जुडिशियल सर्विसेज. ठीक है, तो उस तरह से दे विल कंडक्ट द एग्जाम, दे विल रिकमेंड द नेम टू द गवर्नर एंड गवर्नर विल अपॉइंट. ठीक है, फाइन. इस टाइप से डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज, अदर जजेस, ये डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट का था. ठीक है, तो इस पे वन मोर कॉन्सेप्ट इज देयर. ठीक है, दैट इज NJAC कॉन्सेप्ट वाज इन द न्यूज़. तो NJAC क्या है? NJAC इज ए स्टैट्यूटरी कमीशन. NJAC इज ए स्टैट्यूटरी कमीशन which was appointed or which was made by the parliament through an act. ठीक है, they made a 99th constitutional amendment act and they established the NJAC. ठीक है, तो वो लोग क्या करेगा? They will look after the appointments of the high court and supreme court judges and their transfers also. ट्रांसफर मतलब हाई कोर्ट का ट्रांसफर, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ट्रांसफर तो होता नहीं है. ठीक है, but the supreme court in the judges case, 4 judges case, they declared the NJAC to be null and void because it was disturbing the basic structure concept. तो इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम था? आई विल टेल यू. ठीक है, हालांकि एग्जाम में इतना डिटेल्स वाला चीज़ तो नहीं आना चाहिए, बट लेट्स सी सिंस वी आर डिस्कसिंग. देखो, NJAC was a 6-member committee and three were from judicial side. इसमें क्या था? एक CGI रहेगा खुद, CGI will be the chairperson of this committee. of the commission, and there will be 2 senior most judge of the Supreme Court itself. सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ही 2 सीनियर मोस्ट जज होगा. फाइन. तो ये तो ठीक है, जुडिशरी का आदमी है. फाइन. हियर देयर वर 3 पर्सन फ्रॉम द एग्जीक्यूटिव साइड. वन वाज द लॉ मिनिस्टर हिमसेल्फ, खुद लॉ मिनिस्टर रहेगा. ठीक है, काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर का जो लॉ मिनिस्टर वो रहेगा. एंड देयर विल बी 2 इमिनेंट पर्सन्स. ठीक है, देयर विल बी 2 इमिनेंट पर्सन सेलेक्टेड और नॉमिनेटेड बाय द 3 मेंबर पैनल. एक 3 मेंबर का पैनल बनेगा, कमेटी बनेगा, जो ये 2 लोगों को सिलेक्ट करेगा. ठीक है, इसमें कौन कौन होगा? इसमें होगा पीएम प्राइम मिनिस्टर, LOO दैट इज लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन, और CGI भी होगा. ठीक है, दीज 3 पीपल विल सेलेक्ट दिस 2 इमिनेंट पर्सन. फाइन. और जब सेलेक्ट करेगा दे विल मेक श्योर दैट वन ऑफ दिस मेंबर शुड बी फ्रॉम SC ST और फ्रॉम दी वुमेन, और हाँ, और शी शुड बी वुमेन एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ बात था, वो उतना डिटेल्स नहीं चाहिए, डोंट वरी. ठीक है, तो हाँ, तो ये हो गया. तो प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आ गया? वाई डिड दी सुप्रीम कोर्ट डिक्लेयर इट टू बी अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल? तो हमारे पास एक आर्टिकल 50 है. वी हैव आर्टिकल 50 की कोई आर्टिकल 50. आर्टिकल 50 ये कोई कि द जुडिशरी शुड बी सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम द एग्जीक्यूटिव. मतलब एग्जीक्यूटिव शुड नॉट एंटर द जुडिशियल मैटर्स. एंड दिस आर द एग्जीक्यूटिव्स. PM एग्जीक्यूटिव, LO एग्जीक्यूटिव. ठीक है, लॉ मिनिस्टर एग्जीक्यूटिव. तो ये सब एग्जीक्यूटिव था. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला कि दिस इज इंटरफेरेंस इन द जुडिशियल प्रोसीडिंग्स, दिस इज वर्ल्डिंग द इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ जुडिशरी, द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर. सो दे डिक्लेयर इट नल एंड वॉइड. इन रिसेंट टाइम्स वी हैव सीन ए कंट्रोवर्सी अबाउट द NJSC. सो ये मेंस के लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए इतना फैक्ट काफ़ी है, इससे ज़्यादा मुझे लगता है कि आएगा. ठीक है, जब मेंस होगा तो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द मेंस ऑल्सो अबाउट NJSC. फाइन, आज रहने देते हैं इतना पे. फाइन. देन वी हैड क्वेश्चंस अबाउट दिस इन द प्रीलिम्स मॉक सीरीज. तो इफ यू सी क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, द अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द हाई कोर्ट इज डन बाय, कौन करता है? हु अपॉइंट द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द हाई कोर्ट? प्रेसिडेंट. देखो, हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. सेलेक्ट कैसे किया जाता है वो भी भूल जाओ. ठीक है, बट दे आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. एंड हु अपॉइंट द डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजेस? दे आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द गवर्नर. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द पावर टू इंक्रीज द नंबर ऑफ जजेस इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इज वेस्टेड ऑन, कौन कर सकता है? हु कैन इंक्रीज द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट? ठीक है, while discussion I have not told you, but it is with the parliament. Parliament by making a law can extend or increase the strength of the Supreme Court. ठीक है, पार्लियामेंट इसका आंसर होगा. देन नंबर 3, ए जज ऑफ ए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में रिजाइन फ्रॉम हिज ऑफिस बाय राइटिंग टू. अच्छा, जज विल रिजाइन टू whom? To the president. It's a factual question. District judge is appointed. District judge in a state is appointed by governor. We discuss. So very easy. ठीक है, तो ये रहा अबाउट दी concepts of this one, judges. Next topic is about anti-defection. One of the most important topic for this year's exam. ठीक है, anti-defection law. इसमें क्या है? तो what happened recently? तो recently महाराष्ट्र में we have seen a political crisis. Prior to Maharashtra we have seen crisis in Karnataka also. ठीक है, तो ये ऑलरेडी बहुत टाइम न्यूज़ में आया हुआ है. तो ओवरऑल अच्छा टॉपिक है ये. ठीक है, एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ. तो आई होप यू नो अबाउट द एकनाथ सिंधे केस, दैट ही हैज़ टू थर्ड लोगों को लेके ही हैज़ कम आउट ऑफ द पार्टी एंड मार्च विद द अदर पार्टी टू फॉर्म द गवर्नमेंट एंड द महाराष्ट्र. ठीक है, तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट पे हम लोग बात करेंगे थोड़ा सा. पर देखते हैं कि एंटी डिफेक्शन क्या होता है. तो एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ प्रोवाइड्स फॉर disqualification of legislature, MPs and MLA for defecting the aspiration of their political party. देखो, defection means we can say that violating the party's aspiration, party's principle. ठीक है, तो जब you hold the office, you hold an MLA seat, you hold an MP seat from a party ticket and you directly jump to other party without resigning the position of the MP and MLA, then द एंटी डिफेक्शन आर अप्लाइड देयर आर ग्राउंड्स विल डिस्कस, ठीक है। डिफेक्शन मीन्स बिट्रेयल टू द पार्टीज एस्पिरेशन, वी कैन से सो, पार्टी और पब्लिक्स एस्पिरेशन, ठीक है। तो लेट अस डिस्कस द एंटी डिफेक्शन। क्या है इसमें, तो सी कब आया था, तो इट केम इन 52nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1985। ईयर इज इंपॉर्टेंट, अमेंडमेंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है। और इसने क्या किया, बाय दिस अमेंडमेंट वी इंसर्टेड 10th शेड्यूल इन द क्वेश्चन इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, 10th शेड्यूल जो एंटी बात बोलता है, ठीक है। 52nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1985, इट वॉज ब्रॉट बाय राजीव गांधी गवर्नमेंट, ठीक है। तब बहुत सारा मतलब डिफेक्शंस हो रहा था, वी कॉल इट हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग ऑल्सो, हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग, ठीक है। वो जैसे मान लो मेंबर्स को खरीद लेना पैसे देके या मिनिस्ट्री दे खरीद लेना, ठीक है। तो वहाँ पे ये टू प्रोटेक्ट दी पार्टी फ्रॉम गेटिंग डिफेक्टेड, फ्रॉम गेटिंग स्प्लिट इनटू 2 डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स, इनटू मेनी ग्रुप्स, ठीक है। तो इसीलिए इसको लाया गया था, ठीक है। बिकॉज राजीव गांधी के गवर्नमेंट समय में क्या हुआ था कि देयर वर मेनी डिफेक्शन सीन, सो इन ऑर्डर टू प्रोटेक्ट द पार्टी ही ब्रॉट दिस अमेंडमेंट एंड पास्ड इट। सो विद दैट वी गॉट द 10th शेड्यूल, ठीक है। उसमें क्या हुआ, तो 10th शेड्यूल में ग्राउंड्स क्या क्या है, तो 4 ग्राउंड्स हैं। इफ यू वॉलंटरली यस गिव्स अप द मेंबरशिप ऑफ द पार्टी, मतलब तुमने जिस पार्टी के टिकट से इलेक्शन जीता है, যোনটো পার্টির টিকেটৰ পৰা তুমি ইলেকশ্যনটো খেলি জিকিছিলা, তুমি সেই পাৰ্টি সেই মানে সিটটো ভেকেন্ট কৰা নাই, মানে MLA আছা বা MP হৈ আছা, ইউ হেভ নট ৰিজাইন ফ্ৰম দি सीट एंड यू हैव चेंज दी पार्टी। सपोज यू वर फ्रॉम पार्टी ए, पार्टी ए से तुमने टिकट लिया, इलेक्शन को खेला, कॉन्टेस्ट किया, जीता, एंड यू आर एन MP नाउ सपोज, एंड नाउ विदाउट रिजाइनिंग फ्रॉम दी MP सीट यू हैव चेंज दी पार्टी टू B। दिस इज डिफेक्शन टू दी पार्टी ए, बिट्रेयल टू दी पार्टी ए, ठीक है से, बिट्रेयल टू दी एस्पिरेशंस ऑफ दी पार्टी ए। पार्टी ए के टिकट से तुमने जीता, हो सकता है लोगों ने तुम्हें पार्टी ए का कैंडिडेट सोच के वोट दिया होगा, तो नॉट ओनली बिट्रेयल टू दी पार्टी, इट इज बिट्रेयल टू दी पीपल ऑल्सो। तो उसी को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए एंटी डिफेक्शन है। अब तुम ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है, अब तुम ऐसा नहीं कर सकते। तो वही वॉलंटरली यू कैन नॉट गिव द मेंबरशिप ऑफ द पार्टी, ठीक है। पहले MP छोड़ो, MLA छोड़ो, फिर रिजाइन फ्रॉम द पार्टी, फिर गो एंड ज्वाइन अदर पार्टी, देन अगेन कॉन्टेस्ट द इलेक्शन, तब जीतो, नो प्रॉब्लम। बट पार्टी का सीट में MP हुए हो, पार्टी का टिकट से MP हुआ हो, एंड यू देन चेंज द पार्टी, नॉट परमिसेबल, ठीक है। उसके बाद है कि वोट्स अगेंस्ट द पार्टी के एस्पिरेशन के अगेंस्ट वोट करना। पार्टी ने बोला येस वोट करो, यू वोटेड नो। पार्टी ने कहा नो वोट करो, यू वोटेड येस। पार्टी ने कहा वोट करो, तुमने बोला मैं वोट नहीं करूंगा, ठीक है, बिना बताए। इफ यू सीक द परमिशन देन नो इशू, बट इफ यू हैव नॉट सीक द परमिशन एंड यू हैव गॉन अगेंस्ट योर पार्टी डिसीजन, देन इट इज डिफेक्शन। देन नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर्स if joining the पार्टी आफ्टर 6 months, 6 महीने के बाद अगर कोई भी नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर किसी भी पार्टी को ज्वाइन करता है तो इट इज डिफेक्शन। मतलब अगर तुमको अपने पॉलिटिकल एलिजेंस को दिखाना है कि टू विच पार्टी और टू विच पार्टी यू सपोर्ट, तो तुम 6 महीने के अंदर यू ज्वाइन ए पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, नो प्रॉब्लम। नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर विदिन 6 months they can join a political party, there is no issue in it, but after 6 months if they join there is an issue, ठीक है। तो उसमें क्या होगा, उसमें भी you will be regarded as defected। and last one is if independent candidate joining any political party after getting elected होने के बाद में one independent candidate cannot join any political party। इसमें क्या लॉजिक है, लॉजिक ये है कि इंडिपेंडेंट है तो शायद इसीलिए तुम्हें लोगों ने वोट किया, पीपल हैव वोटेड यू जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट एंड फॉर योर ओन बेनिफिट, फॉर योर ओन विन्स एंड फैंसीज यू हैव ज्वाइन द पॉलिटिकल पार्टी आफ्टर गेटिंग इलेक्टेड, ठीक है। तो ये रॉन्ग है, इसलिए ये भी ग्राउंड है। देयर आर 4 ग्राउंड्स ऑफ डिफेक्शंस। अगर ये ग्राउंड फुलफिल करोगे तो यू विल बी regarded as defected to the party and he will be disqualified from being a member. There were 3 exceptions. Now we have 2. ठीक है, there were 3 exceptions. मतलब डिफेक्शन नहीं लगेगा. कब नहीं लगेगा? जब 2/3 member of the party decides for merger with the other party. एक पार्टी का अगर 2/3 members decides to merge with the other party, तब क्या होगा? तब उस पर डिफेक्शन नहीं लगेगा. द केस ऑफ एकनाथ शिंदे, महाराष्ट्र में एकनाथ शिंदे के साथ में 2/3 पार्टी मेंबर्स था, इसलिए ठाकरे ने कुछ नहीं कर पाया. ठीक है, एंड दे डिसाइडेड टू मर्ज विद बीजेपी. सो दे मर्ज विद बीजेपी एंड नाउ दे आर हैविंग द गवर्नमेंट. सो एंटी डिफेक्शन डिड नॉट अप्लाई देयर. सेकेंड, एंटी डिफेक्शन डज नॉट अप्लाई ऑन द पीओ. पीओ मीन्स प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर, स्पीकर, डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन. ठीक है, चेयरमैन तो ऐसे भी पार्टी मेंबर से नहीं होता है. ठीक है, तो इफ the speaker, if the PO after being elected as a PO resigns from the party membership and again rejoins after not being a PO, then defection doesn't apply. क्या बोला मैंने कि मैं PO हूँ. ठीक है, suppose I am a PO, I have been elected as a PO, I am sitting here. After being elected as a PO, if I resign from my party, तो defection will not apply to me. Why? Just because my office is an office of impartiality. I should be non bias in the house. मैं bias नहीं होना चाहिए, favoritism नहीं करना चाहिए. I should be not impartial to any of the party member or party. ठीक है, I should be free from biasness. तो उसको प्रूव करने के लिए I can इस पे मेरे पे क्या नहीं लगता, मेरे पे एंटी डिफेक्शन नहीं लगता. ठीक है, पीओ पे नहीं लगता. एंड थर्ड वाज स्प्लिट, कि इफ 1/3 मेंबर्स गेट आउट ऑफ द पार्टी and forms another party or remain as a separate party or separate group, then anti-defection was not applied to them. But this was abolished. This was abolished by 91st Constitutional Amendment Act 2003. अब नहीं, anti-defection has been amended once in 91st Amendment 2003. उसमें क्या हुआ, स्प्लिट क्राइटेरिया को हटा दिया. ठीक है, कि अभी 1/3 अगर स्प्लिट होगा तो anti-defection लगेगा. Previously it was not applied, but now it will be applied. ठीक है, like this. Then ये हो गया. पूरे एंटी डिफेक्शन में the highest authority to decide the defection is PO. PO is supreme head. PO बोलेगा कि डिफेक्शन है तो है, नहीं है तो नहीं है. But does it mean he can do arbitrariness? He can do unfairness? No. ठीक है. There was a question over it. कि पीओ तो बायस हो सकता है, पीओ में सपोर्ट हिज पार्टी, देयर इज अ टेंडेंसी ऑफ बायसनेस. तो उसको हटाने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 1992 में एक केस हुआ था, कियोटो होलोहन केस. उस केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्लियरली कहा कि पीओ डिसीजन विल बी सब्जेक्ट टू जुडिशियल रिव्यू, बट ओनली आफ्टर द डिसीजन ऑफ द पीओ. जब तक डिसीजन नहीं लिया है पीओ ने, until the PO has disqualified a member under ADL, the judicial review of the case cannot be done. After being a member is disqualified under ADL by the PO, then that person can reach up the court and then court can review the decision of the speaker. So deciding authority is PO, but judicial review of the PO's decision is possible. ठीक है, ये बात था. इसमें से तुम याद रखना 10 शेड्यूल 52nd अमेंडमेंट, वो सारा पॉइंट्स, ये सारा पॉइंट्स ये हट गया है विद 91st अमेंडमेंट. एंड पीओ डिसीजन इज फाइनल बट जुडिशियल रिव्यू इज पॉसिबल आफ्टर द पीओ's डिसीजन. इतना फैक्ट याद रखने से हो गया. ठीक है, इसमें क्वेश्चंस हैं. तो इसमें क्वेश्चंस क्या था कि विच अमेंडमेंट वाज पॉसिबल, सॉरी विच अमेंडमेंट वाज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ. कौन सा अमेंडमेंट? तो 52nd अमेंडमेंट. ठीक है, consider the correctment from the following in reference to the anti-defection law. It came into force by 52nd amendment, correct. ठीक है. Second, it added 10 schedule to the Constitution of India, correct. 10 schedule कहाँ गया? Yes. ठीक है. Then defection does not apply when 2/3 members of the party decides for merger with another party. Yes. 2/3 merger. ठीक है, तो ये सब सही है. तो this is about defection. This much if you know, it is sufficient for the prelims. Next is about the PESA. पंचायत एक्सटेंशन टू शेड्यूल एरियाज एक्ट 1996. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, देखो लोकल गवर्नमेंट इज ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट, बट पैसा इज इन न्यूज, सो आई एम टेलिंग इट. बट यू ऑल्सो रीड द लोकल गवर्नमेंट कॉन्सेप्ट. पंचायत, म्यूनिसिपैलिटी, म्यूनिसिपैलिटी से ज़्यादा नहीं आता, बट पार्ट्स एंड आर्टिकल्स यू रिमेंबर, बट पंचायत का इलेक्शन, रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन, ये सब चीज़ें देख लेना। मैं पैसा पढ़ा देता हूँ, पैसा तो पैसा में क्या है, ठीक है। तो पैसा में क्या है, लेट्स डिस्कस। सी व्हाई इट इज इन न्यूज। तो रिसेंटली छत्तीसगढ़ हैड नोटिफाइड रूल्स फॉर द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ पैसा, ठीक है। पैसा है क्या, तो पंचायत एक्सटेंशन टू शेड्यूल एरियाज, पंचायत एक्सटेंशन टू शेड्यूल एरियाज, ठीक है। पंचायत एक्सटेंशन, पंचायती सिस्टम, ठीक है। पंचायती सिस्टम शेड्यूल एरियाज में कैसे पहुंचेगा उसके बारे में ही है, बेसिकली 5th शेड्यूल एरियाज के बारे में विल डिस्कस, लेट्स सी। तो क्या है पेशा, तो द प्रोविजंस ऑफ 9th पार्ट 9 में क्या है, पार्ट 9 में पंचायत है, ठीक है। तो पार्ट 9 में जो पंचायत का प्रोविजन था, ठीक है, द प्रोविजन ऑफ पंचायत वेयर नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू 5th शेड्यूल एरियाज, ठीक है। शेड्यूल एरियाज, 5th शेड्यूल एरियाज, देयर आर 10 स्टेट्स इन इंडिया विच हैज 5th शेड्यूल एरियाज, ठीक है। जैसे 6th शेड्यूल है असम में, कार्बी आंगलोंग, डिमा हजाओ, बोडोलैंड, उस तरह से 5th शेड्यूल एरियाज भी है, ठीक है। एंड देयर आर सम ट्राइबल एरियाज ऑल्सो। तो पंचायत का प्रोविजंस वेर नॉट अप्लाई टू द 5th शेड्यूल एरिया, तो उसके लिए क्या किया गया, उसके लिए पैसा लाया गया। तो कैसे आया, तो सुनो। सो फॉर द गवर्नेंस ऑफ द लोकल गवर्नमेंट इन द 5th शेड्यूल एरियाज, पैसा वाज इनेक्टेड बाय द पार्लियामेंट इन 1996 ऑन द रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ दिलीप सिंह भूरिया कमिटी फॉर ट्राइबल एम्पावरमेंट। देखो, सिंस दिस पंचायत प्रोविजंस वेर नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू द 5th शेड्यूल एरिया, तो in order to apply this provision, we brought in the year 1996 we brought PESA Act, ठीक है। Through this PESA Act we will see कि which of the provision of the panchayats can be applied to the 5th schedule areas with the cognizance of the customary laws of the tribal population, ठीक है। तो दिलीप सिंह भूरिया कमेटी, ठीक है, इसमें लिखता हूँ, दिलीप सिंह भूरिया कमेटी ने इसका रिकमेंडेशन दिया था। ये आ सकता है कि टू विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग द दिलीप सिंह भूरिया कमेटी एसोसिएट, तो पैसा, ऑप्शन में पैसा होगा तो पैसा शुड बी आंसर, ठीक है। तो पैसा इज रेगुलेटेड अंडर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पंचायती राज। पंचायती राज के अंदर, मतलब पंचायती राज, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पंचायती राज इज द नोडल मिनिस्ट्री फॉर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ पैसा इन दी स्टेट्स। तो कितना स्टेट्स है, देयर आर 10 स्टेट्स। तो हाउ टू रिमेंबर इट, वी विल रिमेंबर इन क्रोनोलॉजी। देखो ऊपर से नीचे आएंगे, ठीक है। तो पहला स्टेट है हिमाचल प्रदेश, सेकेंड इज झारखंड, थर्ड इज छत्तीसगढ़, उड़ीसा, आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना, मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, राजस्थान। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। सो देयर आर 10 स्टेट्स वेयर पैसा इज अप्लाइड। क्या क्या, हिमाचल प्रदेश, आई एम गोइंग क्लॉक वाइज, ठीक है, इन द मैप, ठीक है, इन द मैप यू गो लाइक दिस, देन यू विल बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ठीक है। हिमाचल प्रदेश, देन झारखंड, छत्तीसगढ़, उड़ीसा, आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना, मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात एंड राजस्थान। और यू कैन रिमेंबर अल्फाबेटिकली, ठीक है। If you remember alphabetically, Andhra Pradesh, but it will create some problem. Images in our mind it retains, ठीक है। तो मैंने कैसे किया है मैं बताता हूँ तुमको। आई एम नॉट वेरी गुड एट ड्राइंग इंडिया मैप, जो भी हो, जस्ट सिंपली आई एम ड्राइंग, ठीक है। सपोज फॉर आवर अंडरस्टैंडिंग बेटर, ठीक है। तो हिमाचल प्रदेश, ठीक है, झारखंड, उड़ीसा, छत्तीसगढ़, आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना, महाराष्ट्र, मध्य प्रदेश, गुजरात, and Rajasthan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Through map it is easy to remember the states. ठीक है, you go clockwise like this. ठीक है, and you remember the states name under पैसा आ सकता है. ठीक है, असम में पैसा नहीं है. There can be a question on Assam also. ठीक है. So on this we had a question that the government enacted the Panchayat extension to scheduled areas PESA Act 1996. Which one of the following is not identified as its objective? क्या objective नहीं था? To provide self governance, तो ये तो था self governance देना. ठीक है. Because what is Panchayat? Self governance. ठीक है. To recognize traditional rights, yes, it was there. To create autonomous region in tribal areas, इसके बारे में बात करते हैं. To free tribal population from exploitation, ये भी था. Exploitation ना हो इसलिए पैसा को एक्सटेंड किया गया था कि you will enjoy your powers. Actually, पैसा is in cognizance with the customary laws. देखो, tribal population has their own ethnicity. ठीक है, तो they are very attached to their culture, custom, tradition. So in order to protect their culture, custom and tradition, and with the benefits of the panchayat, we came into a cognizance. दोनों में एक we tried to find some balance कि पंचायत भी अप्लाई हो जाए और उसका कस्टमरी लॉज भी रह जाए. तो इसलिए पैसा को लाया गया था. ठीक है, इसलिए यहाँ लिखा है कि टू फ्री ट्राइबल पीपल फ्रॉम एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, इट इज करेक्ट. बट ऑटोनोमस रीजन्स क्रिएट करने का बात ये नहीं था. ठीक है, ऑटोनोमस रीजन्स आर क्रिएटेड अंडर 6th शेड्यूल, नॉट अंडर दी पैसा. ठीक है, तो आंसर विल बी सी. और एक क्वेश्चन जैसा है फ्रेम्ड फॉर द प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन, ऐसे प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन या ऐसे क्वेश्चन विच में बी आस्क्ड इन दी एग्जाम. ठीक है, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अंडर द पैसा एक्ट, मतलब कौन सा स्टेट जो पैसा में नहीं है? असम, गुजरात, झारखंड, उड़ीसा. तो गुजरात तो है, झारखंड है, उड़ीसा है, असम तो नहीं है. असम इज द आंसर. दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन मे बी दियर. ओके, उसके बाद में वी हैव द काइंड अफेयर्स ओवर द डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन. ठीक है, डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन, व्हाट इज दैट? बिकॉज इट इज ऑल्सो इन काइंड अफेयर्स, विल डिस्कस. Delimitation Commission. What is delimitation? अच्छा, what is the in the news? Why it is in the news? तो recently Jammu and Kashmir में delimitation has been concluded. Fine. And in Assam also we have started the delimitation process for the assembly, for the parliamentary constituencies and the assembly constituencies. तो first we have to understand कि what is a delimitation commission. Okay. So it is a commission which drew or which redraw the boundaries of what? Boundaries of TC. What is TC? So territorial constituencies. TCs are what? TCs are territorial constituencies. They draw generally the assembly TC, that is MLA TC, assembly TC, and the parliamentary TCs. Parliamentary TCs. For the Lok Sabha elections and for the SLA elections, they draw the TC, territorial constituencies. Fine. So Jammu and Kashmir mein it has been concluded recently, and Jammu and Kashmir previously they had 83 TCs of MLS. It has been increased to 90 now. ठीक है, out of this 90 I think 24 are reserved for this one also, POK also, but ये relevant नहीं है. ठीक है, ये भी relevant नहीं है, इतना हमारा effect नहीं आएगा. So in reference of Assam we will see. असम में क्या हुआ? तो देखो, असम में recently we have seen that a DC, that is delimitation commission, has been established under the section 8A of RPA. This can be asked if they go deeper into the concept. So these can be asked कि under which section or which act the delimitation of Assam is constituted. तो section 8A में, ठीक है, section 8A of RPA 1950, okay, RPA 1950 में लिखा है कि president can order delimitation exercise to be carried out in Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur and Nagaland. तो 8A में section 8A of the RPA में mention है कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश, असम, मणिपुर एंड नागालैंड के लिए the president can create delimitation exercise or make delimitation exercise. So accordingly it has been done. And why it has been done? Because in the last 51 years we have not gone for any delimitation in this country, in these states. कहाँ अरुणाचल प्रदेश, Assam, and we have Manipur and Nagaland. ठीक है. अच्छा, डीसी के बारे में कहाँ लिखा हुआ है? तो डीसी के बारे में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा हुआ है. कहाँ पे? आर्टिकल 82 स्पीक्स अबाउट द डीसी, डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन, एंड आर्टिकल 170 also speaks about the DC, that is delimitation commission. So they are the constitutional commission, we can say. And in these articles it is said कि after every census there shall be a delimitation commission established to do two things. क्या करेगा ये DC? This DC will do two things. One, they will allocate seats to the state, allocating seats, new seats allocation अगर population बढ़ा तो, and readjustment of TC को readjust करेगा. ठीक है. दो काम था DC का. Delimitation Commission has two works to do. One, allocation of new seats to the state if the population has been increased, and readjustment of the TCs so that equal numbers are maintained in each of the TC, equal number of population. Fine. तो और बोला था कि हर सेंसस के बाद में, बिकॉज आफ्टर एवरी सेंसस पॉपुलेशन सिनेरियो इज गोइंग टू बी चेंज्ड. ठीक है. तो इसीलिए हर सेंसस के बाद में दे विल, मतलब पार्लियामेंट विल एस्टैब्लिश है डीसी. तो अभी तक क्या हुआ? 1952 में बना था, 1962 में बना, 1972 में बना और 2002 में बना. टिल टुडे 4 times वी हैव कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड द डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन. ठीक है. और उसके बाद में 2002 में जब बना तो दे सेड, ठीक है, दे सेड कि फ्रॉम नाउ वी विल नॉट क्रिएट टीसी. ठीक है, सॉरी डीसी नहीं बनाया जाएगा. क्यों? बिकॉज वी फ्रोज द एलोकेशन, न्यू सीट्स विल नॉट बी गिवन, ओनली रीएडजस्टमेंट विल डन. नया सीट्स नहीं देंगे. कब तक? वी फ्रोज द एलोकेशन ऑफ सीट्स टिल 2026. ठीक है, 2026 तक देयर विल बी नो न्यू एलोकेशन ऑफ सीट्स टू दी स्टेट्स, बी इट असेंबली और बी इट पार्लियामेंट्री. ठीक है. ये सब 4 बार बना है अभी तक, एंड अब शुरू हुआ है बिकॉज 2026 इज वेरी नियर. सो डिलिमिटेशन हैज बीन स्टार्टेड इन ऑल दी स्लोली. नाउ असम इज अंडर डिलिमिटेशन, बाद में और भी स्टेट्स में धीरे धीरे होगा. ठीक है. तो असम में क्या हुआ? असम में 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स वेयर मार्ज अगेन, रिसेंटली क्रिएटेड डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. तो क्या क्या है? बिश्वनाथ डिस्ट्रिक्ट है एक, और एक है तामुलपुर, फिर है होजाई, और वन मोर इज देयर. सो आई वाज सेइंग, तो रिसेंटली इन असम वी हैव सीन मर्जर ऑफ 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. ठीक है. नेमली दे आर होजाई, तामुलपुर, विश्वनाथ, and one more is Bozali. These are the 4 districts which has been merged only for the delimitation process. After the delimitation gets complete, again they will be restored their districthood. ठीक है. तो इस पे भी क्वेश्चन था, कि जस्ट सी दी क्वेश्चन. पहला क्वेश्चन था कि इन रिगार्ड विद द डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन रिसेंटली इन न्यूज कंसिडर द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. डिलिमिटेशन लिटरली मीन्स द एक्ट और प्रोसेस ऑफ फिक्सिंग लिमिट्स और बाउंड्रीज ऑफ द टेरिटोरियल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज. सेक्शन 8A ऑफ द RPA, वो तो सही है, स्टेटमेंट नंबर 1 इज करेक्ट. Then statement number 2, section 8A of the RPA 1950 provides for delimitation in Assam. Correct? We have discussed RPA 8A. लिखा yeah. ठीक है. Then the Delimitation Commission of Assam would use the census figures of 2001 for the purpose of readjustment of the parliamentary and assembly constituency. Yes, this is also correct. They are going to use 2001 census. ठीक है, ये point very important. ठीक है, Delimitation Commission of Assam is going to use the 2001 census. They are not going to use the 2011 one. ठीक है, fine. ये सब बातें याद रखना, ये सब याद रखना. ठीक है. Today's last topic of our discussion is economically weaker section. बहुत न्यूज़ में है. ठीक है. What is the current affairs? तो recently Supreme Court in the month of November, ठीक है, Supreme Court has upheld the validity of 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act 2019, which introduced 10% quota for EWS in education and public employment. देखो, EWS, the concept of EWS came around 2018. ठीक है, government passed 103rd amendment. ठीक है, in they proposed in 2018 and passed in 2019. And they provided 10% quota for the EWS. Who are EWS? Economically weaker section in the general class. ठीक है, तो this was first recommended. The concept of EWS was first came in this one. इंदिरा साहनी केस से पहले नरसिम्हा राव गवर्नमेंट ने इसको रिकमेंड किया था कि 10% EWS. लेकिन बाद में 2010 में वन सिन्हो कमीशन also recommended. On the recommendation of Sinho Commission in 2010, government enacted this 10% reservation. ठीक है, what it allows? It allows the central and the state government to provide for reservation in EWS. EWS का reservation देने के लिए allow करता है. Fine. कहाँ तो education में और employment में. देखो, EWS का concept क्या है? तो it's very simple concept. When Mandal Commission gave the recommendation for 27% reservation for SC/BC class, that is OBC class, economically and socially backward class. और पहले reservation was, the basis of reservation was economic backwardness and sorry not economic, the socially backwardness. ठीक है, the Mandal Commission suggested the 27% reservation to the SC/BC class, what we call it OBC, and this class was decided on the social backwardness and educational backwardness. ठीक है, these are the two criteria before. ठीक है, we have on what we decided the concept of the backwardness, social backwardness and economic, sorry not economic, educational backwardness. ठीक है, educationally backward and socially backward. ठीक है, because those population has faced the atrocities in the past in the society aspect and in the education aspect, but the concept of economically weaker section is based on the economic backwardness. ठीक है, economic backwardness. तो इसी में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला है कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम द ST, SC एंड OBC reservation in the country for the employment and the education, there shall be also the EWS reservation given by the government is also valid. ठीक है, यही बोला है, इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा है नहीं. फाइन, बट इसमें दो क्वेश्चंस है जो आ सकता है. द 103rd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 2019 इज एसोसिएटेड विद व्हाट? तो रिजर्वेशन ऑफ EWS इसका आंसर होगा. इंडिविजुअल बहुत दिखाया उसमें नहीं है. ठीक है, EWS हैज रिजर्वेशन इन सेक्टर्स ऑफ व्हाट? तो बोथ एजुकेशन एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट, A and B दोनों. प्रमोशन में नहीं है, प्रमोशन में ओनली ST and SC गेट्स द रिजर्वेशन. ठीक है, तो these are the simple topics. Due to time constraint, what was the best possible approach I could discuss with you, I have done it. ठीक है, then some advices to you is that when you sit in the exam, sit with a cool mind, and now is time to revise the things what you have read already. No new things should be read in this time. Plus as many mock tests as possible you give it. ठीक है, in the exam I will suggest you one technique to attempt the exam. ठीक है, which is very beneficial also. See, the questions which you know 100%, you attempt that question first and give them double tick. ठीक है, you should have a habit from the mock test itself. ठीक है, In the class when I teach, I give these formulas, I teach these formulas also, how to attempt prelims. ठीक है? तो when you know 100%, you tick them with double tick mark. When you know some question, you know the answer, but you are confused with two options. So there is a condition of 50-50. So you encircle it, ठीक है? Encircle it and put it for the last. Or after completing this 100%, देखो पहले तो तुम क्वेश्चन पेपर पे ही मार्क करो कि हाँ ये मैं 100% जानता हूँ, दिस शुड बी द आंसर, ए शुड बी आंसर, बी शुड बी आंसर. जब तुम पढ़ रहे हो तो यू आर सेइंग कि ना इसमें थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो, ए एंड बी दोनों में कोई हो सकता है. एंड द क्वेश्चन विच यू डोंट नो एंड हैव नेवर हर्ड अबाउट, यू पुट क्रॉस मार्क. डोंट डू इट. ठीक है? देन यू टेक द OMR. इन 45 minutes you should complete one reading of the question paper, and you should have these things in your question paper. Then after in next 15 minutes what you will do, you will encircle, or you will encircle the bubbles for the 100% known questions, known answers. Then for half an hour you will put your brain on 50-50 questions. You should not leave it, you should do it. ठीक है? Take risk in these questions as possible. ठीक है? टाइम बचता है, then you go for these questions. I recommend don't go for these questions. देखो हार्डली अगर कट ऑफ बनेगा तो कितना बनेगा? ठीक है? 60 to 70 क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट होने से you should qualify, because 140 से ऊपर तो कट ऑफ जाना मुझे नहीं लगता, बिकॉज पेपर भी उस लेवल का होना चाहिए. इफ इट इज टू इजी देन इट विल क्रॉस 140. ठीक है? बट इट विल बी इन एंड अराउंड 120 to 130 to 140 एट मैक्स. मिनिमम 120 तो होना चाहिए. ठीक है? You prepare in the same way. I wish you all a very best of luck for the exam. You sail through this exam, then again we will meet in the mains. Thank you for attending the session, and best of luck all of you. Thank you so much.